Okay, so there is this YouTuber by the name of MatPat, and he has a series called Film Theory, which I watch almost religiously, and it's something that I actually watched I think last week. And this particular episode of Film Theory was that the new Joker movie that's coming out or has come out, I really don't know. That Joker is not the real Joker, and I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. And upon watching the video, I realized that what Mike Pat was trying to get at was the idea that the person who's play, we are supposed to believe is the Joker, may not be the Joker. Not saying that he isn't the actual Joker, but that technically what we're watching is not really what's happening. The idea of that he is suffering from schizophrenia, where in schizophrenia, you see and believe things that really never happened, that hasn't happened, but they're rooted in reality. Now in the trailer, and he's basing all this based upon the trailer. So take it for what it is. But what I'm trying to get at is the idea that his theory was mapping out the idea that what we were seeing was what he wishes happened, or things that were if you're somewhere and let's say you're at the grocery store and you see a attractive person, and in your mind you imagine yourself going up there like, hey, what's up, how you doing? And in reality, you're just kind of hiding behind one of the aisles going, oh, that person looks good. And that's it. It doesn't go beyond that. But in your mind, you are that strong, confident person that person wants to get with. And you get with that person in your mind. Now, someone who has schizophrenia like myself, this topic was very interesting because it made me kind of question a lot of things. I even talked to Sue about this last week. The idea of, and I think I even mentioned it to Danny, but I know that's still kind of foreign to Danny, and technically it was foreign to Sue too. The idea that what would happen if all of you guys, everybody, not everybody, let's say that Sue is a figment of my imagination. Let's say that her mental health, well, not her mental health, her physical health is something that prevents me from actually being aggressive with her, being harsh with her. Now, if I could put her in a role where I feel I have to protect her and her interest because she cannot. But she also, and all of that, the idea that I have to protect this entity called Sue, because Sue is my conscience. She is the thing that kind of says, okay, that's bad, or this is good, or how do you really feel about it? What would happen if that isn't real? If she isn't real, and she is something that I completely fabricate? What happens if this entire house isn't real? Now, some of you guys might be saying that, of course it's real. You're physically there. You encounter these people. You talk about them. But if I made them up and I believe them to be true, think about this. Fight Club. We believe the entire duration that Brad Pitt's character was real and was friends with Edward Norton's character, and that they were intertwined as two separate entities towards the goal of what that movie was. Not going to spoil for the people who haven't seen it, but we didn't realize until the end. Oh God, I just realized I wasn't going to spoil it, but I'm going to have to. I'm going to spoil it now. Spoiler warning. That Brad Pitt's character never existed. It was all inside Edward Norton's mind. He made himself believe that certain things happened when they didn't. And that seems like, okay, that seems weird. How do you do that? Well, how in this household, let's just say, let's say that this is actually how I really think, and I'm looking at it from the outside in. I am in a house, I'm squatting, and I am paying certain things that I can, and everybody else more or less takes care of the loneliness. Bobby, Nakoma, Sue, Chuck, maybe even Josh, maybe even Tyler, maybe even Graham. Maybe these people don't really exist, or even worse, I mean, if they do exist, but my relationship with them is very warped. The idea that maybe, obviously these people are not my relatives, they're not family, but they are family in the sense that they do care about me. But is that in its sense, in its own way, warped? That I am treating these people like family when they're not? Then what is family? Do I have one? Do I want one? Or is it my mind that treats them like that because it feels that I need it? Or that I want it? Let's change it up a little bit. Just a little bit. Let's say that going back to the idea of if I was in a grocery aisle and I happened to see somebody who was attractive, but if my mind, I already have a relationship with that person. I'm like, oh, I know who that is. I don't need to go up to that person because I already know who that person is. The person's Tiffany. We met at work, actually, when I used to work for the Progress, a newspaper locally here. I was a freelancer photographer, and she was this receptionist there. And we kind of hit it up, but not really. I've always wanted to like know her a little bit more, but not really. Okay, now stop. Understand, everything I said was a fabrication. Someone who has schizophrenia would, if I had schizophrenia, I would have believed that fabricated story to be true. So this woman who I never met, I had a relationship with. Not a natural dating relationship, but I knew her. We saw each other regularly in my mind. The idea that mental health can definitely warp things if you don't have some kind of anchor. Something to anchor you to what really is real. It can really mess you up. The things like people that you think are your friends can really be your enemies. Or people who are your enemies can really be your friends. The idea of schizophrenia now terrifies me. But maybe the relationships I have with these people are ones that I am creating myself. Not that I'm creating them per se. Let's not go that crazy. Let's not go that crazy that they are the figment of my imagination. But let's search the idea that these people who I consider very close to me do not return the feelings and the understanding. I believe they do, but in reality they do not. That's kind of like schizophrenia. The idea, not really hallucinations, but the idea that fantasy and reality are very much intertwined and very confusing. I suffer through schizophrenia, but do I suffer to this extent? Who am I to say no? Crazy, right? Insane, almost problematic. It could become a really big issue in the future. So the question is, what do I do about it? Go see my therapist. But then again, how do I know? I could be just going somewhere thinking I'm talking to a therapist. That's how deep it is. So to a certain degree, someone who has schizophrenia has to believe in the fantasy in order to get to the reality. Who do you trust when no one is within the realm of being trustable? Trustable. That's not even a word, but I just made it up. It's crazy. It's insane. It's interesting. I don't know. I guess we'll find out later on how that really turns out. For now, though, that's all I got. Later.